Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So I welcome all the participants for the third session of today, and we have Gurjit Kaur, Dr. Gurjit Kaur, as a resource person today. And here is a short introduction. Dr. Gurjit Kaur is Professor of Marketing at PG Department of Commerce, University of Jammu, which is at Jammu and Kashmir. She has attended FDP at IIM Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad, Gujarat. She has about 20 years of teaching experience and research experience too. Her work has appeared in numerous journals of international repute, including International Journal of Production Economics, Journal of Small Business Management, International Journal of Operations and Production Management, Decision Sciences, International Journal of Production Research, Journal of Services Marketing, Services Industries Journal, Journal of Strategic Management, International Journal of Retail and Distribution Management, Management Service Quality, Asia Pacific Journal of Marketing and Logistics, International Journal of Bank Marketing, Vikalpa, amongst others. Her 2010 article in Marketing Intelligence and Planning was one of the highly commended articles of the year. She is a recipient of Professor Manubai M. Shah Memorial Award for Excellence in Commerce and Business Management in 2017. Instituted by Indian Commerce Association, she serves on the editorial review board of International Journal of Bank Marketing and Journal of Global Marketing too. Ma'am, I welcome you for the session.
Thank you very much for this introduction. So can I start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically the session is on mediation and moderation. So what I'll do is that first I'll try to make you people understand what is mediation and then moderation. So can I request everybody to kindly mute themselves so that my voice is audible to the participants.
Thank you.
Okay. So let us first start with mediation. What is mediation? So you must have done today's I could see that two sessions, they were on CFA, confirmatory factor analysis, exploratory factor analysis, followed by confirmatory factor analysis, and then structural equation modeling. So in structural equation modeling, so you must have discussed about the direct effects and the indirect effects and the total effects as well. So total of both direct and indirect effect. So what is mediation? Mediation is actually discussing about the direct and the indirect effects. So what is mediation? Mediation is basically, it is a mediating variable is the third variable. Third variable means a variable which is other than the independent variable and a dependent variable. So when we say X is an independent variable, Y is a dependent variable, and we call mediating variable, that is M, as a third variable. So what is the role of this mediating variable? Mediating variable relates independent variable with the dependent variable, which means that mediating variable is such a variable which explains the relationship between X and Y. So the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable is caused by the mediating variable. In certain cases, you would find, so when I say caused by the mediating variable, so we mean to say that the direct link between independent variable and the dependent variable, this direct link is intervened. So the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable, it goes through the mediating variable. So in certain situations, there is no direct relationship. When I say no direct relationship, I mean to say that the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable is insignificant. So in your study, when you are testing the hypothesis, and if you come across a result which shows that the direct link between X and Y, or the direct effect of X on Y, is insignificant. Insignificant means where the p-value is less than 0.05. So that is an indication that there is a significant role, a very important, indispensable role of the third variable, which is a mediator. This is one situation. Second situation is when the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable is significant but weak. When I say significant but weak, so that means weak means normally in the statistical language, if we have to talk about a relationship which is weak, or correlation, association which is weak, so that means that correlation coefficient is less than 0.30. So this value can be significant. So in this situation, when the relationship or the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable is though significant, but it is weak. So when I say weak, so I can also interpret it like that it is not strong. Weak means it is not strong. So strong could be any value. Very strong could be any value above 0.70. Strong could be any value which is above 0.50. So when I say that, that this is second situation where the relationship is significant but weak, now you need, as a researcher, as a scholar, you need to probe the literature to see how better you can explain this relationship, how you can explain this relationship in a better manner. So this can be done only when you introduce a third variable in between independent variable and the dependent variable. So mediator means the one which mediates the relationship between independent variable and a dependent variable. So the mediator is a variable which helps the independent variable to lay its impact on the dependent variable. So you can come across any of the two situations. One is where independent variable does not lay any impact on the dependent variable, and there the role of mediator, that is mediating variable, the role is, that is the full mediation. That is a case of full mediation. Full mediation is a case when there is an insignificant impact of independent variable on the dependent variable. And when there is a significant relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, and by introducing the third variable as a mediator, and with the introduction of the third variable, in the presence of the third variable, if the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable, though the beta value comes down, but it still remains significant. It still remains significant. So that is a case of a partial mediation. That is a case of partial mediation. So in a way, we are talking about three situations. If you could hear me properly, we are talking about three situations. One is a situation where initially you found that the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable is insignificant. So that is an assurance that this independent variable has no effect on the dependent variable. So there is a third variable which is mediator. Mediating variable is playing a very important role here in explaining the relationship between X and Y. Second is a situation where the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable is significant though weak, but it is significant. And when you introduce the third variable, that is a mediator, in relating x with y, this relationship becomes insignificant, which means in the presence of the mediator, the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable becomes insignificant. So this is the second situation. So this is a case of, as per Barron and Kenny approach, this is also a case of full mediation. Third is a situation where the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable is significant and weak. And when you introduce the third variable, that is a mediator, this relationship, this value, though it comes down, the beta coefficient, though it comes down, but it still remains significant. It still remains significant. So that is a case of partial mediation. That is a case of partial mediation. So what is mediation? Mediation is a third variable which helps in explaining the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable. So just to give you an example here, so if I say your university, so if I say that, you know, the image or the reputation of your university, whatever is the ranking, I would say rather the NIRF ranking of your university, that is an independent variable, has a direct significant impact on the student satisfaction. So I'm saying that, you know, independent variable here is the ranking of your university and dependent variable is the student satisfaction. So if I'm saying that there is a direct relationship, or the ranking of your university has a direct significant impact on the student satisfaction. So logically, or, you know, if we have to understand it in a very simple language, so we would say, do you think, does it make sense that the ranking of a university would directly impact the student satisfaction? No. So it is the quality of teaching, because students are, I mean, they may not be knowing about the ranking of your university. What matters to the student? I mean, there are different factors, but among all the other factors, what is the significant, the most important factor? The most important factor is the quality of teaching. So the ranking of your university would force the teachers to improve the quality of teaching, and improved quality of teaching would keep the student satisfied. So this is a case of mediation. Mediating variable is also known as intervening variable. Intervening variable means which is actually explaining the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. So this is regarding the mediation. So what are the requirements to run mediation? What are the requirements to run mediation? First requirement is that there has to be a significant relationship between independent variable and a mediator. There has to be a significant relationship between independent variable and a mediator. The second condition is that there has to be a significant relationship between the mediator and the dependent variable. In a way, this is only the mediating variable, the mediator, which is significantly related to both independent variable as well as the dependent variable. So these are the two conditions which we need to satisfy. If we are not able to satisfy either of these two conditions, then we cannot run mediation. Mediation analysis cannot be performed in this case. So this is actually required, that there has to be a significant relationship between independent variable and mediator and the dependent variable. And mediator and the dependent variable. So this is an indirect effect which we are talking about. So the direct effect is from independent variable to the dependent variable. We need to observe that direct effect as well. Initially, we would be looking into the direct effect. How much is the direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable? Then we would check what is the relationship between independent variable and the mediator. Third is what is the relationship between mediator and the dependent variable. Thereafter, then in the presence of the mediator, then we would check, because initially which we have checked the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, that is a direct relationship we have checked. That is the direct relationship we have checked. Now, direct relationship, I mean to say in the absence of a mediator. Now, in the fourth step, what you have to do is when you introduce the mediator, now you have to see that in the presence of the mediator, what is the dynamics of the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. So does that relationship become insignificant or still it remains significant? So accordingly, the interpretation would be done. So yesterday I've shared a data file for running mediation also. So in that case, we would be running two models for mediation. So the two models, because we have two different types. One is for full mediation, second is for the partial mediation, to show you the results. So first is a situation where we are saying that employee job satisfaction leads to employee commitment, which means that if the employees are satisfied with whatever is being offered to them, the terms and conditions to pursue their job. So if they would be satisfied, so they would feel themselves committed. So that obligation would be there on the part of the employees to perform better, right? So that employee commitment, employee job satisfaction leads to employee commitment, and employee commitment in turn leads to employee retention, which means those employees who are committed to their organization, so those employees would not leave that organization, they would not leave their job, which means they're staying intentions. So they intend to stay for a longer period of time. So these are the three variables which we would be considering first. Second is a situation where we are saying that this is from employees perspective. Second is from the customer's perspective. So we are saying if a service provider is able to provide superior services to the customers, maybe in this case students also, if the teachers, the university is able to provide superior services, the better services. So if your university is able to provide better services to the students, so those students would remain satisfied. They would remain satisfied, and there would be no complaint from the students. They would be very happy, and they would be happy in the decision which they have taken to enroll themselves to take admission in your university. And if the students would be happy, so they would also recommend their friends, relatives, neighbors that they should join this university. So that is the customer loyalty, the student loyalty. So loyalty means not only that, yes, they may think of pursuing some other program also from their university, but at the same time they would also recommend, they would spread positive words about your university. So from the employee's perspective, we have taken employee job satisfaction, employee commitment, and employee retention. And literature says, so whatever is the relationship which you are showing in your study, in your research work, that is theory driven. So if you are saying this is an independent variable, I'm saying employee job satisfaction is an independent variable which has a direct effect on employee retention. So on what basis I have drawn this relationship, I have drawn this path. So it is based on what the literature says, what the theory talks about. So based on the literature which you have reviewed, accordingly you can position one variable as an independent variable, second variable as a dependent variable, and third variable as a mediator. Literature says that employee job satisfaction is directly related to employee commitment. Literature also says that employee commitment finally leads to the employee retention. Similarly, for the customers, so marketing literature says that customer value leads to customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction leads to customer loyalty or customer retention. So whatever we talk, whether we are talking in terms, I mean, for in case of mediation analysis or in case of moderation analysis, whatever we are hypothesizing or whatever we are specifying in our model, that is model specification, whatever model specification we have given, that is entirely based on the literature. That is entirely based on what the literature says. Now, in case of mediation, what is your hypothesis H1A? So H1A is that there is a positive and significant, whether it is positive or negative, you know better. So I'm just assuming that there is a positive and significant association between independent variable and the dependent variable, that is X and Y. H1B is that there is a positive and significant association between the independent variable and the mediator. H1C, that there is a positive and significant relationship between the mediator and the dependent variable. So based on these three hypotheses, finally I would hypothesize that mediating, that is the third variable, plays a role of a mediator in explaining the link or the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. So we would say then only based on these three hypotheses, finally we would assume that the third variable is actually a mediator, which is explaining the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable, which also means that in the absence of the third variable, the direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable is not that strong. The direct effect is not that strong. So it is the third variable, that is the mediator, helps the researcher to better explain the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. So this is regarding the mediation. Should I take up the theory part of moderation as well, and then we should do our exercise, or should we do exercise regarding mediation? So any suggestion? Yes.
Ma'am, I think we can cover the theoretical part first for both mediation as well as
moderation. Okay, that's fine. So now second is the moderation. So moderating variable is basically again a third variable. Moderating variable is also a third variable. Moderating variable is a variable which strengthens the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. Here also we have to check first of all how much is the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable. If this direct relationship, like in case of mediation, if this direct relationship itself is very strong, let us assume something like 0.67. If this direct effect is itself very strong, so then there is no point of checking both mediation, moderation, right? If the direct effect is itself very strong. Now, in case of mediation, when you introduce the third variable, that is a mediator, the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable, it gets weakened. So mediator weakens the link between independent variable and the dependent variable, whereas a moderator strengthens the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. A moderator strengthens the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. Moderating variable is a variable on which the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable is contingent upon. So independent variable, the association between independent variable and dependent variable is contingent on the level of a moderator. So moderating variable is also known as contingent variable, because then which one? Then how would you differentiate basically between the mediator and a moderator? So mediator is, it can be any variable which you have measured on a scale of 5-point scale or 7-point scale, now continuous scale, Likert scale, for which you have used. Whereas in case of moderation, most of the times you would find that the variable is such which can be categorized as a low level and a high level, which the researchers, they can categorize as of high level and a low level. So moderating variable, like most of the cases, most of the papers, you must have studied that the environmental variables, they have been considered as the moderating variable. Environmental variable means like you have competitive intensity, which means a low level of competition or a high level of competition. Market turbulence, so low level of market turbulence, high level of market turbulence. Technological turbulence, low level of technological turbulence or high level of technological turbulence. So this is, so we measure these variables also on a scale. Basically, you can measure as low, medium, high also, but we have few items also with the help of which you can, but then later on what you have to do, you have to yourself, classify these variables as low and high. Certain other cases, like more in case of technology adoption, the papers which you might have studied on technology adoption, so they have considered the gender as a moderating variable, the age as a moderating variable, education as a moderating variable. So which means that we can easily classify. So gender, male, female, marital status, married, unmarried. Maybe third category could also be there. I'm not doubting. So next is like your education, those who are graduates, postgraduates, or any higher degree, right? So in case of moderation, which is not the case when we talk about mediation, in case of moderation, again, whatever literature says. But if you are testing a new moderating variable in explaining the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, it is always better. I'm not refuting it, but I'm just suggesting you that it is always better if your moderating variable is categorical in nature. If your moderating variable is categorical in nature. So categorical, why we want that, that there has to be a proper classification of a moderating variable. It is because what we are hypothesizing in case of moderating variable, we are hypothesizing that normally I use the term Z, somewhere it could be M also, same M is being used for mediation and moderation. So M1, M2, M1 is for mediation, M2 is for moderation. So in my case, I say that the relationship between, or that third variable, that is the Z variable, plays a role of a moderator in strengthening the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. Maybe there are different ways in which you can hypothesize the which you can set different ways in which you can hypothesize. So one could be that there is a positive and significant relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, which is contingent on the moderating variable, or the moderating variable strengthens the relationship. Moderating variable means you specify the name of that variable. So the moderating variable strengthens the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. So various ways to write down your hypothesis, to formulate your hypothesis. So when I say that the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable is contingent on the moderating variable, third variable, that is the moderator, such that at a high level of that moderating variable, the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable would be strong, and vice versa. That is, at a low level of the moderating variable, at a low level, so the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable would be weak. So moderating variable, no doubt, it's also a third variable. The condition, the requirement in this case, in order to be confident about the moderation analysis, what is required is that the relationship between moderator and the dependent variable, the relationship between the moderator and the dependent variable has to be significant. and it is better if it is strong. So if there is a strong relationship between moderator and the dependent variable. Second is that the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable, it should not be very strong. It should not be very strong. The third requirement is what we do in order to analyze the moderation results. We take an interaction effect of, we multiply the independent variable with the moderator. So that is known as interaction effect. So the interaction effect of independent variable and the moderator, so the joint impact I'm talking about, the joint impact of independent variable and the moderator on the dependent variable has to be significant. It has to be significant in order to establish that the third variable is a moderator. So in this case, H1A is that there is a positive and significant relationship between independent variable and a dependent variable. H1B is there is a positive and significant association between the moderator and the dependent variable. The third is that the interaction effect of independent variable and moderator on the dependent variable has to be significant. And if it is not so, then you have not succeeded in establishing the moderation of the third variable. So in case, if we would compare mediation with the moderation, so in case of mediation, so one thing which is common in both the mediation and the moderation is that the direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable should not be very strong. It should not be very strong. In case of mediation, it can be insignificant as well. Whereas in case of moderation, the relationship has to be there, but relationship should be weak. And now by introducing a moderator, this relationship should get strengthened. It should get strengthened. So this is the, the similarity between mediation and moderation, because in certain cases of mediation, you would find that the relationship is significant, but it is not very strong. So it is weak. Now, in case of mediation, there has to be a significant relationship between mediator and a dependent variable. Similarly, in this case, there has to be a significant association between the moderator and a dependent variable. So the difference is mediating variable in 99.99% cases, mediating variable is one for which we use a continuous scale, Likert scale. Right, for which we are using a continuous scale, that is a Likert type scale which we use. In case of moderation, it is always better if you have a variable which can be categorized. No doubt, if you are taking customer satisfaction as a moderating variable, you can categorize customer satisfaction also as a high level of customer satisfaction and low level of a customer satisfaction. But then, it is always in that case, because you have measured on a continuous scale, interval scale I'm talking about. So it is always better to consider, I'm not refuting that you cannot consider customer satisfaction as a moderating variable if the theory suggests like that. If the literature says so, if somebody has recommended it to consider customer satisfaction as a moderating variable, then you can take it to bridge up the gap in the literature. Otherwise, better would be to take up a variable as a moderator which can be easily classified. Easily means in which case it becomes more meaningful to classify the third variable as a high level of a variable and a low level of a variable, like in case of maybe market turbulence. So the changes which are taking place in the market needs. So whether those changes are taking place rapidly, which means a high level of market turbulence, or those changes are taking place in an incremental manner, which means a low level of market turbulence. So if you are explaining the relationship between, let us assume the entrepreneurial orientation and the business performance. So entrepreneurial orientation, the impact of entrepreneurial orientation on the business performance would depend upon how quickly the market changes. Market changes means the market needs change. How quickly the market needs change. So if the market changes, the market needs the changes in the customer's needs, changes in the competitor strategies. If those changes are taking place very frequently, so in that case, the impact of entrepreneurial orientation on the business performance would be very high. Whereas if the market changes, they are very stable. So they are not dynamic. Market is not very dynamic. So in that case, the impact of entrepreneurial orientation on the business performance may be very weak. So the first case where the market dynamic is very high, market turbulence is very high. So the link between X and Y would be strong. Where the market turbulence is low, in that case, the link between X and Y would be weak. Why? Because entrepreneurial orientation comprises of three dimensions: innovativeness, proactiveness, and risk taking. So this would go very well with the high level of market turbulence, with a very high level of market turbulence or competitive intensity or technological turbulence also, right? But if the market is not that dynamic, the changes are infrequent, so in that case, so entrepreneurial orientation would not lay that strong impact on the business performance. So this is regarding the moderation. So where the mediating variable weakens the link, in the presence of the mediating variable, the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable gets weakened. Or in case of moderation, the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable gets strengthened. So this is basic difference between the two. So when you in certain cases, when we are checking the mediating effect, the effect of the third variable in explaining the link between independent variable and dependent variable, in very few cases, very few cases, I have observed that the original, that the impact of X on Y, it becomes stronger. This impact gets improved. The beta coefficient gets improved. So which means the third variable is not a mediator, the third variable is a moderator. Third variable is not mediator, but third variable is a moderator. So in order to hypothesize regarding the mediation, so for that what is required is literature. There has to be a clear literature which specifies X is related to M, M is related to Y. So now you can check the relationship between X and Y. And in case of moderation, what is the requirement? That the literature says that literature classifies that variable as high and low, and there would be inverse relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable when there is a high level of moderation and there is a low level of that, the presence of that moderating variable is at a high level or at a low level. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Very much.
This description of mediation and moderation is clear. So now I think I can start with the mediation first, running the models. So first what we would do is we would see, have you checked the is this file visible?
Visible.
Okay, thank you. So I think you can see that ES1, ES2. So for the sake of clarity, only to make the things more easier for the participants, so what I've done is intentionally I've kept only three items under each construct. So ES, that is employee job satisfaction, as 3 items. EC, employee commitment, as 3 items. ER, employee retention, as 3 items. So first we would be considering these 3 variables. In the second case, we would be taking up customer value, that is the CV, that is customer value. And then we have customer satisfaction, CS, 1, 2, 3. And then we have CR, that is commitment, CR1, CR2, and CR3. So now the requirement in this case is we need to take the summated scores of all these constructs because these are the items. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go to transform so as to take an average of these items. So I have to calculate the average. So I'm saying mean of employee satisfaction. So mean of employee satisfaction. So this is bracket start. I would take all the 3 items because we have 3 items under employee satisfaction, ES1, ES2, and ES3. Close the bracket divided by the number of items. So number of items 3. So this is mean of employee satisfaction. Okay.
May you show the variable date view? Is it possible to show the variable view?
It is there, variable view. So MES, this is a, are you not able to see it?
No, I am not. I am seeing only the data view because you are talking about some variable, but it is written.
Yes, ma'am. We are only able to see the SPSS.
MEM, MCI, MR, MCM.
Okay, that's fine. Is this variable view visible now?
Now it is yes. Yes,
Okay.
this is correct.
Okay. So this is, now you can see that there is a new variable. This is a new variable which has been added up. So likewise, we need to have the summated scores for each and every construct, important construct. So employee commitment, I'm saying EMES. So it again has 3 items. So employee commitment 1, employee committed. This process has to be, you have to repeat it. It has to be repeated for all the constructs, the main constructs, because we would be considering divided by number of items 3. So now this is the new construct which you can see, MEC. And kindly tell me if something is not visible. And third is the employee retention. So it is the ER, employee retention 1, employee retention 2, employee retention 3. So we need to create 6 new variables. MER. Likewise, we have to calculate for customer value, summated score of customer value, which has 3 items. CV1, so it depends upon the number of items you have. In your case, if you have 5 items or 10 items, so divide the sum of these scores, sum of these mean values with the respective number. So customer satisfaction, CS1 plus CS2 plus CS3 divided by 3, and finally customer retention. So now you can see mean summated score of employee satisfaction, employee commitment, employee retention, customer value, customer satisfaction, and last is the customer retention. Which is CR, CR1, so we are done with it, divided by 3. So now in this data view also you can see that at the end These are the 6 new columns, 6 new variables: MES, MEC, MER, MCV, MCS, and MCR. Employee satisfaction, employee commitment, employee retention, customer value, customer satisfaction, and customer retention. So we need to save it. So now next is this MOS file visible?
Yes.
Okay. So means I need not to switch again. So 1 second. Yeah, so this is a new file. First, we have to specify the data file, the location of the data file. So this is mediation data file.
Screen is not visible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. MOS 15 is not visible.
MOS screen is not visible. So which means
No,
that in
madam.
okay. So which means that, you know, I need to switch. Whenever I'm switching between
Yes,
the software, so I need to change it also in your this micro. Actually, you know, I'm doing it using this Microsoft Team for the first time. Sorry, but
Teams has this option only that whenever you switch your screen, you have to reshare it.
yeah, so that is what. Otherwise, Zoom never asked for it, and this Google Meet also never.
They have
I
not
had never.
done.
So 1 second. So this is a problem which I am facing right now. That's why, you know, yeah, so here it is. I think now you can see. So I need to, whenever I'm switching between the software, so I need to go and, you know, I need to stop sharing the previous system, the previous software, and the new software has to be. Oh, so now that's what, you know, now I could see that red line is there. So means that it is visible to all. I hope it is visible now, right? Because I could see that red border.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now this icon I would use. I have already specified, you know, this is my mediation data file which I've shared with everybody, and the sample size is 118. So I pressed OK here. And in case of analysis properties, what I would do is analysis properties output. I want basically standardized estimate only. That's all. I don't require anything else. Now I would draw the model, and the mediation model looks like this, that this is an independent variable. I would photocopy it, and this is the dependent variable. And there is a third variable which I would place in between the independent variable and the dependent variable. I would draw the line from independent variable to the dependent variable, from the independent variable to the mediator, from mediator to the dependent variable. So MOS has a problem that the dependent variable or the measured variable, basically in this case the dependent variable, must have an error associated with it. So that's why we need to show the error which is associated with the dependent variable. So now using this icon, I can place my independent variable which is employee satisfaction. I can place my dependent variable which is employee retention, and I can place my mediator which is employee commitment. I can go to plugins to name the unobserved variables E1 and E2. So now when I have to check, the first of all we have to see that what is the direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. So what I would do, I would constrain my two paths, that is from independent variable to the mediator. I'm constraining it. And the second is from mediator to the dependent variable. I'm constraining it so that I can only see what is the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. Standardized estimate, calculate estimates. Asking me to save the results. Mediation. It's taking time. You can see that this arrow becomes red, so we can see directly also. So the link between employee satisfaction and employee retention is 0.44. I'll show you the text output also. Can you see the text output?
Not visible.
Oh God.
Blank.
This is actually very boring that, you know, I'm so much now. I have to type in again. I have to, you know, switch.
Visible now.
No, this is visible. I'm talking about these results, not visible. Sorry, because I'm not able to. 1 second. I'm talking about MOS output. Now this must be visible. So now you can see that the standardized regression weight, that is the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable, is 0.443, and which is significant as well. So I'm saying that it is not strong, but it is neither weak also. So now let's see what happens, or what is the relationship between independent variable and the, sorry, but you know, I do not know why you have preferred this, because workshop means that, you know, we need to switch, we need to use multiple different screens, we have to show different screens also. And it is killing my time. So this is, maybe, you know, I'm not comfortable, or maybe, you know, I never used it because of that only. So what we'll do is we'll look into the results here only. I'll not use the text output option. So now you can see that what is the relationship between independent variable and a mediator? It is 0.65. So it is strong. It has to be strong. Right. Now I would constrain this path and the direct relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, so that we can see that now what is the impact of mediator on the dependent variable. So this is again strong, more than 0.50, so it is 0.55, so it is good enough. Now what you have to do is you have to remember the direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable, which was 0.443. Now what I'm going to do is, now in the presence of the mediator, so I'm going to unconstrain on all the paths. So now all the paths, they are free to move. So we would see that when this mediator employee commitment is introduced between employee job satisfaction and employee retention, so what is the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable? It comes down from 0.44 to 0.14, and I'm sure this 0.14 is insignificant. 0.14 is insignificant. You can also run, because this data set is with you, data file is with you. You can also check. This must be insignificant. So this is a second case. Second case means second case of mediation. This is a full mediation case. Full mediation means that originally the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable was significant but not very strong. And when we introduce a third variable, this relationship becomes insignificant, which was earlier significant. Now this relationship becomes insignificant. This is a case of full mediation. This is a case of full mediation. In certain cases, the scholars, the researchers, they are worried about their results. So they start doubting their results, whether the data collection was appropriate or not, because initially they would get an insignificant relationship between X and Y. So nothing to worry about. Why? Because if you are getting an insignificant relationship between X and Y, so that means that is the, now in this case, earlier we were not sure whether there would be a full mediation or a partial mediation of employee commitment. Why? Because the relationship was not that weak. It was not below 0.33, it was 0.44. So we were not having any idea about the actual results, whether there would be a full mediation or partial mediation. But when the direct effect itself is insignificant, that is the very first situation, the direct effect itself is insignificant. So that is a clear indication that the third variable has very significant role to play, which means a full mediation of the third variable. So that is the case of full mediation of third variable. So this is the case when you have the, in this case also we have a full mediation. Why? Because now in the presence of the mediator, that is employee commitment, the impact, direct impact of independent variable on the dependent variable, it becomes insignificant. So this is a case of full mediation. Now let's take up the second case, where the customer value is an independent variable, customer retention is the dependent variable, and customer satisfaction is, now literature says that there is high degree of correlation. There is a high degree of correlation between the customer value, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, whatever it is. Let's check. So I'm going to constrain again the link between independent mediator, mediator and dependent. Must be very strong. 0.79, it's very, very strong. It is very, very strong. But we have a literature which says that, you know, if you are providing better service quality to the customers, so they would remain happy. And for a considerable period of time, for continuously for some period, if they are getting the similar quality of services, better quality of services, so they would remain satisfied. And if they would remain satisfied, then only they would be happy to come to visit that institution again and again. So now let's check in this case. In this case, obviously the mediation cannot be full, it has to be partial. Why? Because the direct link itself is very strong, very, very strong. So it doesn't make sense here basically to check for the mediation when the direct link itself is very strong. So the direct link from the relationship between independent variable and the mediator is also very strong, 0.73. Mediator and dependent variable is also strong. I mean, it is 0.57. And now you can see that from 0.76 something, it was direct relationship between the customer value and customer retention was 0.76, which has drastically reduced to 0.37. It has drastically reduced. So which means, although the direct link was very strong, but with the introduction of this mediator, this relationship has become weak. Not insignificant. This is significant value. 0.37 is a significant value, but it has become weak. So this is also a case of mediation, where with the introduction or in the presence of the mediator, the direct link between independent variable and the dependent variable, it gets weakened. This is also a case of mediation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, each time whenever we are adding the mediator, the relationship would weaken. The previous relationship would weaken.
In order to establish mediation, so like if you are hypothesizing that this variable is a mediator in explaining the relationship between X and Y, so now you have to prove it. You have to prove it, right? If this relationship does not get weakened, So that means that it is the third variable is not a mediator. This is a criterion. This is a requirement to prove the mediation. It should either become insignificant to prove full mediation. So if it becomes insignificant, that is a case of full mediation. If it gets weakened, so that is a case of partial mediation.
Can there be a case when the relationship between the dependent and the independent becomes stronger when we are adding
So yes, but you know, very rarely it happens. But if suppose that you confront a situation where initially the relationship was something like 3.37, and once you introduce the mediator, this relationship gets improved. So which means that though you are treating the third variable as a mediator, that variable is not a mediator, that is actually a moderator. Because a moderator strengthens the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. This is a condition, this is a requirement, that with the introduction, in the presence of a mediator, the initial relationship between independent and dependent variable has to come down. That beta value has to come down. And if it gets improved, so that is a case of moderation.
Okay, and one more thing, if we
Yeah.
are introducing a mediator, there need to be three conditions. That means the condition as there should be relationship between independent and dependent, then independent and mediator and dependent. All three need to be fulfilled, then only we can introduce it as a mediator, otherwise not.
Yeah. So in that case, so when you are talking about these three conditions, the very first, that is the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable, it can be insignificant, it can be significant but weak, it can be significant but not very strong. Either of these three
Yes.
can be.
And same goes with the moderator too.
No, in case of moderating variable, there are two conditions. One is that the impact of independent variable on the dependent variable has to be significant but not very strong. The direct effect has not to be very strong. Right? Second is that the effect of or the association between a moderator and the dependent variable has to be significant and strong. And third, the very important is, which helps us to prove the moderation, that is the interaction effect of independent variable and the moderator on the dependent variable has to be significant.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So now I have to switch from the mediation file to the moderation file. If mediation is clear, so now I would take up the moderation data file. So in this case, you know, I've already taken the summated scores. So we have, this is, so what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to consider 4 variables. One is the satisfaction. This is actually regarding the satisfaction from the MOOC courses attended by the students. So those students who are satisfied after attending those MOOC courses, and if the requirement is to gain more autonomy, so because MOOC courses provide more autonomy to the students. And second important is that competence. So because the students, they were competent, and that's why they found that, you know, this MOOC course was not, I mean, it was not that difficult for them to pass through. And then one more variable which I'm going to consider is continuous intention. So maybe, you know, they might have passed 1 or 2 courses using this MOOC. So maybe they intend to pursue more courses through MOOC. So this is something which we have done. This is again, you know, a bigger study. I've taken few variables. Now, what is the requirement in case of moderation analysis to run the moderation? In order to reduce the possibility of multicollinearity between independent variable and a moderator, so what we have to do is we need to calculate the z-scores, or we call it as mean-centric. We need to calculate mean-centric values of independent variable and moderator. I'm considering two variables here as moderator. One is autonomy, a high level of autonomy. If a high level of autonomy would be given to the student, or in this case, because I'm talking this about the satisfaction which they have derived after going through the MOOC courses. So if the students they have enjoyed a high level of autonomy, so there was no schedule there to follow, so flexibility was given to them to read, because it was not a synchronous type of teaching, so it was asynchronous, so that autonomy was given to them. So if they perceive that because of high level of autonomy, so or a low level of autonomy, depends upon the student's expectation. And second is moderating variable. Here is the competence, the students who are highly competent and students in whose case the competence level is low. So would they be interested in pursuing more MOOC courses in future or not? So what we have to do is we have to take mean centered values of independent variable and moderating variable before taking the interaction of independent variable and the moderator. So this is the requirement. What you have to do is you have to mean center your moderator, independent variable, and then finally you would take an interaction effect of independent variable and a moderator. So now in this case, first of all, I should know that what is the mean scores. So the mean scores of satisfaction, not the dependent variable, it is only independent variable and a moderator. So my independent variable is satisfaction. There are two moderators, autonomy and competence. And my dependent variable is CI, but I need not to look into the mean value of the dependent variable. So I'll tell you that what is the mean value. So the mean value of satisfaction, that is an independent variable, the mean value of satisfaction is 3.43, and that of satisfaction is 3.43. Autonomy, which is one moderator, is 3.86, because you cannot see the screen, and the second is competence, that is the 3.37. 3.43 is the mean score of that is total grand mean of satisfaction. Grand mean of autonomy is 3.86, and that of competence is 3.37. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mean center these three variables: compute variable, mean center satisfaction. So this is M satisfaction, this is the mean, minus its mean score 3.43. So I've given a new name to it, mean centered satisfaction. So that is the already the mean score of satisfaction, that is the where we have taken the sum total of all the items falling under the satisfaction, minus its grand mean, which is 3.43. Press OK. A new variable would be created. So you can see here itself. Similarly, for the moderating variables, mean centered autonomy. So autonomy minus, that is mean of autonomy, minus its mean, grand mean 3.86. Okay. And then last is for competence. So that is the mean of competence minus its grand mean, which is 3.37. Okay. So now we have these three with us. So what I'm going to do next is we have to take an interaction effect, compute variable SAT into AUT. So maybe satisfaction SAUT. So what I'm going to do here is I'm taking an interaction. We have to consider only mean centered variables here. So mean center of satisfaction multiply by the mean centered autonomy. So I've given a new name to it, satisfaction into autonomy, SAUT. Okay. Similarly for SCOM, that is for competence. Mean center satisfaction into mean center COM, that is the last one. If you see MCCOM, so interaction effect of this. Okay, save this file. So now we would look into the moderation analysis, how to run moderation. So it is visible now. So I would change the data file from mediation to moderation. So responses are 120. My system has become slow after downloading this Team, Microsoft Team. So I'm not able to quickly work on it now. It's taking time. So I've opened up a new. So what I'm going to do is now I'll show you that, this is a independent variable and here is a dependent variable. Let's see what is the relationship between independent variable. In this case, in our case, it is those not very strong, but it is strong basically. So data file. Standardized estimates. So in my case, it is I have to take mean centered independent variable, satisfaction, and continuous intention is my dependent variable. Let me check that what is the relationship between the we need to provide an error term to the dependent variable, name unobserved variable. So moderation results. Value is 0.77. It's already very strong. It is already very strong. So let us see whether those two variables, autonomy and competence, they are playing the role of a moderator or not. What we need to do in that case is that we need to look into the direct impact of autonomy and competence first. Mean-centered autonomy and mean-centered competence. So it is actually easy to establish mediation, very difficult to establish moderation, very difficult. And that too, I would suggest, if you can run hierarchical regression, that is the best way to prove moderation. Now, because I was using MS and because I had in my mind that you people have already used MS for working out the EFA, CFA and SEM. Sorry, the system is not working now. Proceed with the. That's why I preferred, using this MS. Otherwise, you can use regression, hierarchical regression, or moderation. You can use multiple regression to run mediation. You can also use Hayes process also for both moderation and mediation. So now you can see that, you know, the direct link, the relationship between satisfaction and commitment is 0.38. I mean, in the presence of these two moderators, I am saying, initially it was strong. So it is this impact of autonomy on dependent variable is also significant. Competence on this dependent variable is also significant. Now we need to introduce the interaction effects. So we need to have two more variables. So these two variables are basically showing the interaction effect between the independent variable and first moderator, independent variable and second moderator. Now let us see, these two relationships have to be finely significant. That is the link, the relationship or the impact of satisfaction and autonomy on continuous intention, satisfaction and competence on continuous intention. It has to be, these relationships have to be significant. So now you can see that this relationship is significant. That is, when we are taking the interaction effect of satisfaction which the students have derived after undergoing the MOOC courses and the autonomy which they have enjoyed, so that is laying greater impact on their continuous intentions. So in this case, my hypothesis would be that there is a positive and significant relationship between the student satisfaction and their continuous intention, which is contingent on the level of autonomy, such that at a high level of autonomy, the relationship between satisfaction and continuous intention would be stronger, whereas at a lower level of autonomy, this relationship would be weak. Similarly, for the competence, my hypothesis would be that this relationship between X and Y is contingent on the level of competence, that is a student's competence, on the level of student competence. So at those students who are highly competent, in their case, the relationship between satisfaction and continuous intention would be weak. Why? Because those students who are highly competent, they would never pursue MOOC courses unless until it is something which is mandatory for them to do it. So those who are very competent, they may not find MOOC courses. They may not find MOOC courses as, you know, as those courses which have enhanced their learning. So they would not like to pursue these MOOC courses in future. Why? Because these MOOC courses, they do not enhance their learning. Whereas those students who are less competent, they may want to get certificate, you know, and that's why they want to pursue these MOOC courses in future as well. So a negative relationship, you can see that there is a significant but negative relationship between satisfaction competence and continuous intention. Though these students might be satisfied with the MOOC courses, but you know, those students who are highly competent, they do not want to pursue similar MOOC courses in future, because they found that, you know, that there was not much value addition for them after going through those MOOC courses. Whereas those who are low, students who are low in competence, so in whose case, I mean, the students who are not highly competent, though in whose case the competence level is low, in their case, yes, they would like to pursue the MOOC courses in the future. So you can see that, you know, you can yourself run, because this data file is also with you. So you can yourself run and you can see that these values are significant. So which means both autonomy and competence, they are playing a role of a moderator. They are playing a role of a moderator, because ultimately, like in case of mediation, If the value gets reduced, so that is a case of reduced but significant, that is a case of partial mediation. If it gets reduced and it becomes insignificant, that is a case of full mediation. In case of moderation, the only criterion which is required to establish the role of a moderator is that the interaction effect has to be significant. The interaction effect between the independent variable and a moderator, that is the mean centered independent variable, mean centered moderator, the interaction effect has to be significant on the dependent variable. If it is not significant, so then you can say that, you know, this third variable is not playing a role of a moderator, is not playing a role of a moderator. So, but you know, you can make use of Hayes process also. This is the very first model, model 1, which shows the moderation of one variable between independent and dependent variable. And model 4 is when there is one mediator. So Hayes process provides you various models. So you have the mediation of 2 variables, you have mediation of 3 variables, 4 variables, multiple mediation, we call it as multiple mediation, serial mediation. So those options are there in Hayes process. And in case of moderation also, when you have one moderator, when you have 2 moderators, further higher order analysis, you can easily look into, you can easily get the results for moderated mediation, mediated moderation by using the Hayes process. But for the beginners, I think just because those who want to gain clarity regarding mediation and moderation, because Hayes would not, I mean, you would not be able to understand these relationships and how it is actually working. So for the beginners, it is always better to work on mediation and moderation using MS. And in this case, when you have a very specific categorical variable, like, you know, like you have the gender is there, male, female, married, unmarried, urban, rural, literate, illiterate. So if you have such clear classification, categorization of your variables, so in that case, you can use multi-group analysis. So if you have a clear categorical moderator, so you can use multi-group analysis. Like if you can see here, group number 1. So likewise, this group number 1, if it is for male, so you have to create group number 2 for female. So you can run multi-group analysis. Those who are interested to know more about multi-group analysis, so they can view YouTube videos are also there on multi-group analysis. When when your moderator is a categorical variable, not that you are categorizing it as low or high, but it is already a well-established categorical variable. So in that case, you can make use of multi-group analysis. So there are different ways, you know, with the help of which you can use different softwares to run mediation and moderation. So now open for discussion. Yes, participants, please.
Yes, one question. Here we have taken the 2 mediators simultaneously, one the autonomy and second is competency.
Yeah.
But if in case we take just the one, does it will make the difference in the result?
Yes, it would definitely make the difference. There would be different results. Now, why I have taken autonomy and competence together? Because these are the 2 dimensions of basic need satisfaction. If you have read about the self-determination theory, so self-determination theory has 3 components in it: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So because relatedness does not make sense in case of MOOC courses, that's why intentionally I have not taken up relatedness. But yes, autonomy and competence, the level of autonomy and competence, these two moderators, they might explain in a better manner, they might explain the relationship between dependent variable and dependent variable. But it is always better to check the mediation of one moderator. It is always better to check the moderation of one variable at a time. Even in case of mediation also, it is always better. I mean, initially you should, and otherwise also, if suppose there are 3 mediators in your model, you should always check one after the other. Right, so then you get you come to know about that in-depth analysis can be performed in that case when you are doing it one after the other. And then if you have done, because in that case you would be running 3 mediation models, Fourth mediation model would keep 2 mediators at a time, and fifth model you can keep all the 3 mediators. So to gain greater insights regarding this, regarding your mediator or moderator, so it is always better to have one mediator or one moderator at a time. That's right.
And the result would be accepted till the fact we are getting the each time with the relationship between the dependent and the independent is decreasing.
Yeah, so in case of mediation, yes.
Yeah, in case of mediation.
Yes.
But in this case, now initially the result was 0.77. Now the result has reduced to 0.24. So is this acceptable?
Yeah. So now in this case, initially when it is in the presence of the moderator. It is in the presence of a moderator. So when we are introducing a moderator, so initially what we have to see is that what is the relationship between independent variable and a dependent variable. It was 0.77 something, right? Then we have to see that what is the relationship between moderator and a dependent variable. It has to be significant and strong. So that is also significant and strong. Now, what is more important in case of moderation? Yes, theory says that when you're introducing a moderating variable, so with that the basic purpose of moderation is that the relationship gets strengthened. When I say relationship gets strengthened, so that doesn't mean that the initial relationship should get strengthened. No. So it is basically the relationship between the independent variable and the moderator. It has to become significant. In certain cases, most of the cases, not certain cases, in most of the cases, you would find that the direct relationship would be significant. The impact of moderator on the dependent variable would be significant, but ultimately the interaction effect might not be significant. Then you cannot prove the moderation. So to prove moderation, what is the requirement? The only thing which is required to prove the moderation is the interaction effect. Interaction effect, if your interaction effect is significant, so that in that case you prove the moderation. If this interaction effect is insignificant, then your moderation cannot be proved. So that is the requirement. Basically, when I say that the relationship, the direct relationship should get strengthened, so that is not the individual impact of the independent variable on the dependent variable, because in moderation we are no more interested in that direct effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. No, we are not interested in that. What we are interested in, we are interested in the interaction effect, the last relationship at the end. Which relationship has to be considered is the interaction effect has to be considered. Now once we have checked the relationship, direct relationship, we are not interested now no more in that direct relationship. We are at the end, we are really interested in the interaction effect only. Whereas in case of mediation, what we are interested, even at the end also, we are interested in looking into the link between the independent variable and the dependent variable, because mediator is one which is explaining the relationship, whereas moderator is one which is strengthening the relationship. When I say strengthening, not the direct relationship, but it is the interaction effect has to be significant.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And one more thing, can we can we do it with the help of the categorical variable? If this session
moderation?
Yeah, ma'am.
If this session allows, I'm already, I think, done with my time which was given to me. I mean, if the organizers...
Just a hint as to how we have to perform this activity.
Okay. That I can tell you. So like, so in this case, because now you have seen that autonomy and competence, both are measured on interval scale. Both are measured on interval scale.
Yes,
but when you try to get more understanding regarding autonomy and competence from the student perspective, you would find that autonomy enjoyed by the student would be of high level or of a low level. Similarly, the competence of the student would be high or low. So it has to be something which is which should convey some meaning to the reader, right? Otherwise, one option is there when you are using multi-group analysis to run moderation. So what you have to do is you have to categorize manually. You have to categorize manually that 1 stands for male and 2 stands for female. That categorization has to be specified. So 1 stands for illiterate, 2 stands for literate. So
Yes,
that
ma'am.
has to be specified. Then only you would specify to MS that 1 is male and 2 is female. And because then it would give you the results for group number 1, for group number 2, and you have to interpret it. So you want me to run multi-group analysis?
Yes, ma'am, if it's possible.
It requires half an hour, not less than half an hour, because I have to categorize my, even in this case autonomy also, if suppose I'm using multi-group analysis, so I need to categorize my autonomy, this variable, as low and high. As low and high. I have to categorize it, and then only I can perform multi-group analysis.
Okay, if we are categorizing it, is there certain criteria to categorize?
Yes, there has to be. There has to be. On what basis you are categorizing? So like if I'm saying low and high, so you take a median,
Okay.
below the median, low, above the median, high. This is the best way to categorize your variable. Take the median as the cutoff value.
Okay, and then we'll divide it between the males and the females, or no? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So
then
no,
we'll.
no, I'm not talking about the male and female here. I'm talking about a variable which has been measured on a continuous scale, interval scale, how to categorize it. Now, in case of male and female, you already have different categories, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So in that column, gender column, you would put 1 for male, 2 for female. So 1 and 2 would automatically would be there when you're feeding the data.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
It would be automatically, it would be there. But when you are categorizing on your own as high and low, then you have to do on your own. And you can trust me, it is very easy. You must watch YouTube video on multi-group analysis. Beautifully, they have explained step by step how to perform multi-group analysis.
Any specific video you would like to specify, ma'am?
What is this application?
You write down multi-group analysis, and then the very first video, you watch very first video.
What is this application in research, madam?
Of moderation?
Moderation and mediation both. Where we
Okay.
applying this?
Yes, sir. So like in case of mediation, when we do not have clear understanding of how the relationship or how the dynamics of relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable actually plays a role. So if suppose that, I took an example of entrepreneurial orientation in business performance. So they say that, this direct, and even in the meta-analysis conducted by Roche 2009, so they say the direct link between the entrepreneurial orientation and business performance is only 0.23 something, which means that it is weak. That is why they are suggesting the future researchers to look into the possible moderators. They're suggesting to look into the possible moderators because that, in that case, the relationship, how to strengthen this relationship. So which are those possible moderators which can better predict the dependent variable? So beside an entrepreneurial orientation, is it some other? I mean, there may be many other variables. There may be many other variables. So they suggested for the moderators, but because this direct link is weak, so you can look for the mediators also. So mediator could be market orientation, can be one mediator here. Learning orientation can be another mediator here. Innovation could be another mediator here. So whatever literature, whatever idea you get from the literature, some input from the literature, insight from the literature. So when the literature says that the direct relationship between X and Y is weak, and they are suggesting to look into the variables which can better explain the relationship between dependent variable and dependent variable. So your contribution is you are adding to the existing body of literature, you are adding something to the theory, because earlier it was only the direct link which was established. Now you are adding a mediator or you are adding a moderator. in relating independent variable with the dependent variable. So this is known as a theoretical contribution. You are adding something to the theory by adding the third variable, by introducing the third variable as a mediator or as a moderator. So in fact, this is how we contribute to the existing body of knowledge.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, any other question? So do we have more questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I think you can share your mail ID for the participants for any other clarifications.
So your organizer, Dr.
Netra.
Vishal, Dr. Vishal has my email ID, which is gurjeetkaur18.
We will share it to them.
Gurjeetkaur18 at the rate gmail.com. Gurjeetkaur18.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
then I would take a leave now.
I
In
have the
case if
email
there
ID, I
is.
will share.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Vishal,
Thank you very
sir. Vishal Shukla,
Ma'am,
sir.
thank you
Okay.
so much for being with us today and enlightening all of us. We are greatly honored to have you as a resource person and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to, to interact with the August participants also. And thank you very much, Dr. Vishal Shukla ji, for giving me an opportunity also to, like, whatever knowledge, whatever information I have with regard to mediation and moderation, I tend to disseminate with the participants. So this is what I have done here also. So in case if you have any queries, so you can contact me. I mean, it is always better that you write down your query and mail it to me so that, I would be happy to address your queries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all the participants. And tomorrow we will be meeting at sharp 9:30 for the fourth day of
Thank you,
the
ma'am.
session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's on Teams. Would you like to join?
Netralti ma'am. Amir sir or Monica ma'am, please ask Amir sir to stop the recording.